Abdullah ibn Amir was a governor of Busra and an extremely successful military general during the reign of Rashidun Caliph Uthman ibn Affan. His father was a maternal uncle of Caliph Uthman. Abdullah was thus a cousin of Uthman. He is well known for his administrative and military prowess. His campaign of reconquest and pacifying the large soils of Persian Empire former territories has left great legacy of Islamization in both Iran and Afghan land. Early life. Abdullah ibn Amir was born in Mecca in present-day Saudi Arabia. He belonged to the Umayyad clan of Quraysh. He is likely descendant from Amir ibn Rabah, a male companion of Prophet and seemingly relative of Utbah ibn Rabah, father to Hind bint Utbah. So technically he is distant cousin of Caliph Uthman, who descended from the same progenitor of Abu Sufyan ibn Harb, husband to Hind, and descendant from Banu Abd Shams, parent clan of Umayyad clan. Appointment as the governor of Busra. In the year 647, when Abu Musa al-Ash'ari was deposed from the governorship of Basra, Caliph Uthman appointed Abdullah ibn Amir as the governor of Basra. Abdullah ibn Aamir was only 25 years old at time. Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. Caliph Uthman was aiming in solving the tensions in newly conquered Iraq, which caused by sudden influx of Arab tribesmen to the garrison towns in front lines such as Kufa and Basra. He solved this by opening new fronts in new territories to conquer, which aimed to consume the energy of those tribesmen and channeling them towards new military expeditions. When Abdullah ibn Amir arrived at Basra, he immediately readied the fronts to new conquests into the land of Persia. Abdullah ibn Amir made several reforms, such as constructing new irrigation canal in Basra and fixing the water supply system for the use of Hajj pilgrims which passing through Basra. Conquests. Abdullah ibn Amir's expeditions were particularly embarked on a campaign to subjugate many revolts within Persia former territories. First campaign of Kerman. At first conquest, Rashidun Caliphate has sent two contingent consisting of Abdullah ibn Amir and Suhail to conquer Kerman, first reaching to Basain and then advanced further towards Nishapur. Following this, his advanced guards was immediately met with the oppositions, and then fierce fights has occurred against the Kocho-Balak, which resulted the death of Sasani, governor of Kerman. Reconquest of Fars. The Persian province of Fars was conquered during the reign of Caliph Umar. During Uthman's reign, the province broke into a revolt like other Persian provinces. Uthman directed Abdullah ibn Amir to crush the rebellion activities. He accordingly marched with a large force to Persepolis. The city surrendered and agreed to pay tribute. From here the army marched to Al-Jabad, where a small resistance of Muslims had captured the city, and citizens agreed to pay tribute. Thereafter the Muslim force advanced to Jawr. The Persians gave battle, but they were defeated and the city was captured by the Muslims. Peace was made on the usual term of the payment of jizya. While the Muslim army was still in Jawr, Persepolis again broke into revolt. Abdullah ibn Amir took the forces to Persepolis and laid siege of the city. After a violent battle, the Muslims were able to regain the control of the city once again. All leaders among the Persians who were guilty of instigating the revolt were hunted out and executed. With the fall of Persepolis, other cities in Fars also submitted unconditionally. The Uthmans appointed governor of Fars, after analyzing the situation, sent Islamic missionaries to various cities of the region to convert the people to Islam to avoid a revolt in future, as the cause of revolt was the spirit of nationalism in Persians and discrimination of Persians by Arab rulers. Reconquest of Kerman. After suppressing revolts in Fars, Abdullah ibn Amir turned towards Kerman, which revolting again during 651-652 AD. He sent a force under the command of Mujahid ibn Musa Salmi. Kerman was soon reconquered with little resistance. Reconquest of Sistan. Uthman directed Abdullah ibn Amir, which at the time was governor of Busra, to reconquer the province. A column was sent to Sistan under the command of Rabia ibn Ziyad. He reconquered it up to what is now Zaranj in Afghanistan. Rabia ibn Ziyad was made governor of Sistan. He remained there for years. Then he left for Busra, and the province broke into revolt once again, this time in a much larger area. Abdullah ibn Amir sent Abd al-Rahman ibn Samra to undertake the operation. Abd-Rahman bin Samra led the Muslim forces to Zaranj. Once Zaranj was captured, Abd al-Rahman marched into Afghanistan and conquered it into north up to Kabul. After this campaign, Abdullah set his eyes toward Khorasan. Reconquest of Khorasan. Khorasan, a province of the Persian Empire, was conquered during the reign of Caliph Umar, under the command of ibn Qais. After the death of Umar, Khorasan broke into a series of which first happened when revolt under Persian Emperor Yazdijad III. But before he could lead the Persians against the Muslims, he was betrayed and killed in 651. Caliph Uthman in 651 sent Abdullah ibn Amir, the governor of Busra, to reconquer Khorasan. Abdullah ibn Amir marched with large force from Busra to Khorasan, outstripping another contingent of Said ibn al-As who departing from Kufa, together with Hudzaifa ibn al-Yamin, Hussein ibn Ali, Hassan ibn Ali and another companions. After capturing the main forts in Khorasan, he sent many columns to various directions into Khorasan, the strategy being to prevent the Persians from gathering into a large force. The town of Bai, in modern Afghanistan, was taken by force, with a Muslim commander falling in the battle. After Bai, the Muslims marched towards Tabasan, which was captured with little resistance. The Muslim army captured the city of Nishapur after a long siege. The Muslim army continued capturing other small and big towns in the Khorasan region. Afterwards they consolidated the position in Khorasan. The Muslims then marched towards Herat in Afghanistan, which surrendered to Muslims peacefully. After gaining control of the region, the Muslims marched towards city of Merv in modern Turkmenistan. The city surrendered along with other towns of the region except one, Sang, which was later taken by force. The campaign in Khorasan ended with conquest of Balkh in 654. However, the second uprising was broke again in Khorasan after the wake of First Muslim Civil War, when Muawiyah was appointed as caliph, replacing Ali. This time happened in Herat and Balkh. Abdullah was appointed once again to give reprisal of this revolt. This time the retaliation were fierce and swift, where the famous Zoroastrian temple of Nobahar was destroyed. Because the continuous campaign in Khorasan, there's unavoided effect of Arabizations of this area under the military operations of Abdullah. It was described the structure of the army of Abdullah ibn Amir during the reconquest of Khorasan was composed the army from Basra, which recruited from tribes which has hijra to Masr and enlisted in Divan. It was natural that these tribesmen, carrying on their old tribal traditions, bearing the name of their original clan with whom they might have severed the relationship by emigrating to the Masri. Each clan, or even a tribal group and from related clans, would have its own chief as commander. This is the military system which latter will standardized in the era of Umayyad Caliphate campaign in Transoxiana. After consolidating Muslim forces in Khorasan, Abdullah ibn Amir crossed the Oxus River, more known to the Muslims as Amu Darya, and invaded Uzbekistan in southern Transoxiana. Details of these campaigns are little known, but it is known that a greater part of southern Transoxiana submitted to the suzerainty of the Rashidun Caliphate. Death of Caliph Uthman and its aftermath. After the successful completion of his campaigns, Abdullah ibn Amir donned the ihram in Nishapur, and made a pilgrimage to Mecca to perform the Hajj and offer thanks to God. After performing the Hajj, Abdullah ibn Amir proceeded to Medina to see Uthman. Before Abdullah ibn Amir reached Medina, Uthman had been martyred. It was a great shock for Abdullah ibn Amir, when Zubair ibn Ali Wwam, Talha and Aisha raised the call for the vengeance for the blood of Uthman from the rebels. Abdullah ibn Amir suggested them to come with him to Busra because of his greater influence in the city. The Confederates succeeded in capturing Basra because of the influence that Abdullah ibn Amir commanded over the people of Basra. Along with Talha and Zubair ibn Ali Wwam, Abdullah ibn Amir arrested and killed around 4,000 suspected rebels in connection with the murder of Caliph Uthman. In the Battle of the Camel in December 656, the Confederates were defeated and Busra was captured by Caliph Ali. During Caliph Ali's reign, the reign of Caliph Ali was full of turbulence. Though Abdullah ibn Amir did not take part in the Battle of Siffin, fought between the forces of Caliph Ali and Muawiyah, he supported the vengeance of Caliph Uthman's murder. After the murder of Caliph Ali in 661, his eldest son Hassan ibn Ali became the caliph. He was pressured by the Syrian governor Muawiyah to resign as caliph. Avoiding another civil war, Hassan ibn Ali resigned in the favor of Muawiyah 6 months later. During this, Abdullah ibn Amir supported the caliphate of Muawiyah. During Muawiyah's reign, the Caliphate of Muawiyah founded the Umayyad dynasty, dissolving the Rashidun empire of Rashidun caliphs. Abdullah ibn Amir for some time remained the governor of Busra under the Umayyad dynasty, though later Muawiyah disposed him from the governorship of Busra, presumably due to his growing influence in Busra, but another. Nevertheless, in the wake of civil wars in early 660s, public orders broke down. Crimes and insecurities was growing rampant in Basra. According to Ash-Shabi, whenever a dissolute youth took hold of a woman, they would tell her to cry 3 times. If someone answered to her, her safety is assured. But if no one answered, they would not be blamed to what happened to her. When Ziyad was arrived in 665 as governor, the night is full of cries of private watchmen who being hired by wealthy peoples who feared the crimes which growing in the city. So Ziyad established a shurta which compelled of 4,000 infantry and cavalry, imposed curfews and set some draconian laws to behead anyone on the street after the evening worship's time to Basra. He also re-established order in outside roads of Basra by appointing chiefs of Taman and Bakr clan as the security forces of the said roads. Death. Abdullah ibn Amir protested against his dismissal. Abdullah left Busra for Medina and died there in the year 678, at the age of 56. Legacy. Abdullah ibn Amir's reign as a governor of province of Busra for 9 years was extremely successful. Caliph Uthman was accused of nepotism, appointing his cousin Abdullah ibn Amir, a young man of 25 years, as the governor of Busra. But the apologetic resume from Susianto, an Indonesian Islamic historian citing many medieval sources and modern contemporary historical references, indicates that the appointing of Abdullah ibn Amir was in fact because his capabilities proved to be the most successful of Caliph Uthman's governors, as no other governor was able to make conquests on as large a scale. Susianto marked that the people of Basra themselves unsatisfied with the rule of Abu Musa, so they want Uthman to appoint Abdullah ibn Amir. unanimously, who, though not very well known, was proven as one of the top-ranking generals and capable governor of Islamic history, just like another famous Uthman's cousin, Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. Another legacy he left were probably the introduction of Masr system, a garrison town of which formed by the basis tribal system consisting of Arabs who migrate to Persia that originally intended for military function, which probably was the basis of Arabic diaspora in the land of Iran for later era. He is also mentioned as the chain narrators of hadith attributed to his father, Amir ibn Rabia, which compiled in Jami'(Tirmidhi Sahih compilation.